brother from the cutter, always been a fighter, never been a runner. Mama was a hunter, daddy was a hunter, all my brothers hunt each other. Known to knuckle up and uppercut, a slugger, punch a snuffer, stun a thugger, gonna stutter, blood a sputter. You gon' do the Brooklyn Brucker, puck up, kinda drummer. Father thought I was a parasite in mama belly, but he had it wrong. He ain't know he had a spawn of a warlord till in 9 months I was born. Big, black, strong, body of LeBron. I'm a big king, killing all the pawn. Better be informed when I blow the horn, bringing in the dust, waking up the dawn, looking at a card. Prophesized by the shaman voodoo. Seen it all through the eye of Horus that I watch and view through. There was other warriors before me, but they not this brutal.
Hey family, brothers and sisters, I want you to go to Brother Rich's Patriot page. As you know, they're making a lot of changes on the internet now. People are going bonkers about conspiracies of this, that, and the other. Well, let me tell you this, that which is numerology and astrology is scientific in its measure, which is why it's been here for tens of thousands of years and will remain so. Okay, so please support Brother Rich and go to his Patriot page and show love.
Peace, family. Welcome to another episode, Underground Railroad Productions. I'm with one of the greats right here. We've been trying to start this interview for about 15 minutes. This brother, every time he opens up his mouth, he says something that I'm like, how the hell did you know that? This is amazing.
Yeah. Numerology is amazing. A very amazing metaphysical science. And notice what I said, a science.
Ladies and gentlemen, Lloyd Strahorn. Welcome back, my brother.
Thank you, Brother Rich. I am an astronumerologist. My name is Lloyd Strahorn, and I have a purpose of being here in Rich's home, and that is to share with you the upcoming workshop that's going to take place this month on June, Saturday the 22nd, from 11 a.m. to 7. That's right, it's going to be all day. There's going to be 3 great numerologists. One is King Simon. I know everybody knows King Simon. Y'all can't tell me you don't know this brother's name, okay? He wrote the book, Numbers Are Simple, But People Are Complicated. I wish I'd wrote that title. Then the next sister is from Kaya French from Detroit, Michigan. She is also one of the best in the business. She's going to be doing it as well as myself. We're going to spend all day with you, teaching you how to do what we do. The fee for the course is actually an insult. You could not get this kind of experience from 3 of us for the all day learning how to do this. Not just getting a reading, but actually teaching you how to do what we do. Of course, you can't be as good as us because, you know, it's not an overnight thing. But the point is you'll learn enough to know about yourself, relationships, when to time things and when everything is best for you. And it's going to be a real serious thing. Now I'm going to open it up, the workshop, talking about some of the history of numerology. And just to give you a background, numerology is extremely ancient. And in fact, when, I forgot the brother's name, but when he was in Chaldea in 356 BC, they told him that the metaphysical sciences were at least 473,000 years old. This is very ancient. When I had Dr. Ben Yekinen on my show, when I had a show on WBLS and WLIB, he explained that the symbols of astrology, the signs and numbers were already in the tombs. You see what I'm saying? So this is a very ancient science. And what started me on this odyssey is the fact that they would say that Pythagoras is the father of numerology. However, if you do the backdrop, the study, you'll find that he went into the land of Egypt or Kemet, and he studied for 22 years. So anytime you're going to go somewhere and study for 22 years, you should come out good. So one day it dawned on me, I says, well, brother, on what continent is Egypt? The African continent. This is definitely without question an African-based science. And in fact, there's a book out, several books I'll be referring to in the workshop that people can do their own research, because my attitude is don't take my word for it. Do it yourself, because that's a mark of intelligence. Because if you just take people at face value, sometimes they can steer you in the wrong direction intentionally and oftentimes unintentionally because they just don't know. But be very clear that what I do is ancient and African in its origin. It is tens of thousands of years old, and it acts as a guide to guide you in a direction to time your seasons. Every single one of us has a season. So if I talk to a number 8 person that is born on the 8th, the 17th, or the 26th of any month, they have their season. What do I mean? Well, of all 7 days, Saturday is their best day. The planet that rules the number 8 is Saturn, for which Saturn got its name. Okay? Also, you'll find that, for example, let's say if you take the number 2, well, that would apply for anybody born on the 2nd, the 11th, the 20th, or the 29th of the month. They are ruled by Monday, but the number 2 is ruled by the moon, which is where the word Monday got its name from. So there's so many associations with this. And what I do as a numerologist is I defy people to start your morning. Now, you're listening and you're seeing this video right now. But what I'm saying is this. Start tomorrow, a fresh day, and get up and go throughout your entire day and don't use numbers. I'm saying you can't do it. Why? You're going to want to make a call. Somebody's going to want to call you. You want to see what time you got up. You might want to buy breakfast, gas, newspapers, whatever the case is. Everything are numbers. And imagine, how you going to watch the score? How you going to know what the numbers are? I think right now the Warriors are playing the Raptors. They got everybody all wound up about that. The most important thing is the score. And if you ask an athlete, one of the most honored things is to have their number retired. So as long as that franchise exists, no other player coming into that franchise can wear that number ever. So there are things that we do, but what I'm saying is with numerology, it takes you to a whole nother level because it tells you your seasons. It teaches you how to be more in the right place at the right time in perfect harmony with the universe. So getting back to the number 8. So the number 8 is Saturday. So I would know that Saturday is his best day. 8 is also ruled by the sign of Capricorn because Saturn is its planetary ruler. And thus I know one of the best signs for number 8 is always in January, February, July, and August. Things tend to happen for them around those months. But everybody has a season. And you know what is interesting? Is that numerology is the kissing cousin to astrology. Now, there was always the questions like the chicken and the egg, which came first? Well, I'm saying that numerology came first. Here's why. If you go to an astrologer, they need to gather certain information from you to process and do your chart or erect your chart. What do? They need the month, the day, and the year you're born. You don't tell it to them in color code. You don't tell it to them in alphabet. You got to tell it to them in numbers. So give the example, a person may say, well, I'm born on August the 17th in the year 1980 something, okay? Well, that's good. But then they need to know the time. And this is what I used to do when I was into astrology, but that's why I'm an astronumerologist, because I combine the best of both worlds together. In fact, Simon does it, and so does Kaya French. So you're going to be getting a little dose of not only the numerology in the workshop, but a blend of astrology and how it's connected to it also. But the reason why they need the time is because, for example, I'm here in New York. It might be, let's say, 1 o'clock. Well, guess what? In California, which is totally different, it might be just 9 o'clock, okay? Or 10 o'clock. So it all depends. In other words, there's a 3-hour difference. If I went to India, it's 10 and a half hours ahead. If I went to Hawaii, it's 6 hours and a half behind. So that's why they have the different time zone, which is why an astrologer must know, to get an accurate chart on you, must know the exact time you were born. And in fact, the exact time I now make it equivalent to getting your GPS. You know, all you do nowadays in this high-tech world is you punch in the numbers of the address, and that GPS will take you from point A to point B. For example, when I was in India recently, and the family I stayed with, we took an Uber. When we got downstairs and got in the car, we gave the person 4 numbers, and they knew exactly where to take us. That's it. Here, in the States, you know, you got to put in the number and the address and the borough and stuff like that. But did you know, speaking of African origin, that the GPS was discovered by an African-American woman named Gladys Mae West? She's now in her 80s, but she is the one that developed the GPS, okay? And in fact, because of her, GPS is used all over the planet. If you saw the movie Hidden Figures, that came out about 3 or 4 years ago, it was about the history of the black women working on this project. And they referred to the black women as computers, which meant everything was up here, okay? So what I'm saying is our tradition is very rich in numerology. We are the originators of numerology, although they'd like to give Pythagoras credit. But if I went to Greece and studied for 22 years and came back to the States and say I'm the father of this, I don't think that would fly, okay? Keeping it real. So what we're going to be doing is teaching you the origin. Me, I like the practical side. That's how I am. Because I was born in the streets of Harlem in New York City, and everybody was from the state of Missouri, the show me state. Yeah, I'm a number 8, what that mean, okay? So the theory is one thing, which I'll teach so you can get a backstory on it. But what we'll be doing primarily is teaching you how to set up your seasons, how to time your life, how to determine what years are very important. So for example, the number 8 that I gave as an example, you can even point out the ages. I can tell that this person was very significant at age 8, age 17, age 26, age 35, age 44, age 53, age 62, age 71, age 80, age 89. Although that person isn't nowhere near there, but they will find that these ages will be very significant. Conversely, I can also take the years from 1970 to 1979 to 1987 to 1996 to the year 2005, 2014, 2023, and 2032. I mean, that's the beauty of numerology. So, for example, this year that we're in presently, 2019, if you add these 4 digits across, it adds to 12, and 1 plus 2 is 3. So if a person says, okay, Lloyd, if you're so smart, what would be the universal year in the year 5055? I'd say it'd be a 6. Simple. 5 plus 0 plus 5 plus 5 is 15, and 1 plus 5 is 6. So none of us are going to be here eons away up the road, that is if they don't blow the earth to kingdom come, okay? That I can tell you that centuries and centuries and centuries ahead of us, that in the year 5055, it'll be a 6 universal year. And the word universal means what each and every one of us goes through, but to a greater or lesser degree. Here's what I mean. That means in the year 5055, those under the sign of Taurus, those under the sign of Libra, those are born on the 6th, 15th, or 24th of the month will be the beneficiaries of that year. Conversely, those under the signs of Aquarius and Leo, and thus people born on the 4th, the 13th, the 22nd, or the 31st may find that century way up the road a bit more challenging. We all have highs and lows. This is why the sun don't come out every day. I mean, you know, I'd like to have the sun come out every day, but there are going to be days when it's a little overcast. Some days it'll be stormy, and this is why numerology will guide you, will tell you your highs and your lows so you can act with intelligence. So you know on those cloudy, rainy days, you take an umbrella out and you don't get caught in the rain and get soaking wet symbolically. So Kaya French is going to be teaching about the birthday, how to form your formative years, your productive years, your harvest years, which means how you're likely to end your last days. She'll be teaching you about your cycles. Simon is very unique. Simon is a brilliant brother, and he's going to be talking about trauma, how all of us are affected to some greater degree or less. That's why I love the title of his book. Numbers are simple, but people are very complicated, because you can have a person born under the most ideal conditions, supposedly, and wind up being a knucklehead. Then you can have a person born under the most adverse conditions and wind up being brilliant. So it all depends on how things do. So you can have all these things, but it's very, very important. It's going to take place again on June the 22nd, Saturday, from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. We want you there. We want to show you. We want to reclaim which is ours. Now, you know, it's interesting when you say this. I think it's very interesting when we say that we love ourselves, that we don't like other people. That's false fallacy. I mean, everybody else loves themselves, except when we're supposed to love ourselves, that means we must hate somebody else. Be clear, numerology is African in origin, okay? Although Europeans tried to move Kemet over to Europe because of historians like Dr. Diop, Dr. John Henry Clark, Dr. Ivan van Sertima, Dr. Ben Yekinen, Dr. John Hope Franklin, all of these gentlemen made it crystal clear that Egypt is in the land of Africa, call it what you will, and so how are these guys? Herodotus, Thucydides, even Hippocrates, the father of medicine, studied where? Egypt, okay? And yet they all came back the father of this and the father of that. And I'm saying that we, as African descent, need to reclaim some of this history. We need to really take this to the next level. And as I said, this woman, Gladys Mae West, developed the GPS. She's in her 80s, but she developed this. And by the way, the man she married, her brother, was also a mathematician himself. So, so keep these things in mind. And so because we have a love of ourselves don't mean a hate for other people. That's somebody told somebody wrong if you go for that. Don't go for that. That's not true. And if everybody else loved themselves, how come we can't love ourselves? And so people shouldn't be threatened or intimidated, but if so, that is a part of evidently their psychosis or neurosis that I have nothing to do with. I am divinely here. I am part of the original man, the original family. The oldest relic is still found in Africa, and a female at that, a Kenupithecus, a woman. So it just shows our history is very long, very ancient. All our subjects of medicine, religion, science, philosophy, numerology goes way back in time. Now, I would like you to join us, and here's how you can do so. And by the way, we're going to present it live stream also. So if you're not able to attend, if you're in California or India or some other part of the world, China, for example, you can tune in by going to King Simon Productions, I do believe, .eventbrite.com. So that's King Simon Productions .eventbrite.com and register. Now the fee is ridiculous. I got to be honest. The fee is only $99. I mean, you couldn't even pay us to see us for a half hour, the three of us separately. Here it is. We're going to spend all day with you, teaching you how to do this, not read you, so we can spread the word, so you can read other people, read your family members, read your children, and guide them in what makes them special and why this child is that child, why one parent gets along better with another parent. You are in for an amazing, amazing experience. That's all I can tell you. I can't prove it. You just got to be there. So my whole attitude is this: I am always in the right place at the right time in perfect harmony with the universe. Those of you who are there, it means you're meant to be there. And we are going to put forth, that is King Simon, Kaya French, and Lloyd Strahorn, our best to show you what we do. And not only that, after the session is over, you're going to have access to us too. Where can you get that for $99? Now, if you do wait, guess what? You're going to have to pay $129. Wow, okay, that's still no money. And had we been looking like other folks and we charge hundreds of thousands of dollars, they wouldn't have a problem getting in. Such is our mindset in terms of our values. We won't mind spending something $200-300 on some champagne, but we're going to balk at spending $99 to take an all-day course to teach you how to be better, how to find your life, how to direct your life, how to be in the right place at the right time. And so this way, it also teaches you about how to pick that person that's best for you. So for example, let's say you got a fire sign, for example, talk a little astrology. Well, the fire signs are Leos, Sagittarians, and Aries. So if you see anybody under those signs, they will get along very well. If you see people under the air signs, which is Aquarius and Gemini and Libra, they will have a tendency to do well. What about the water signs of Cancer and Scorpio and Pisces? And then the earth signs, can't leave them out, which would be Taurus and Virgo and Capricorn. We're going to teach you all of this stuff, so you will be better at reading people. And it almost seems as if you've been reading them for years, because of the likes of King Simon, the likes of Kaya French, and the like of myself. We will teach you, fast track you. Now, of course, you're not going to be good of us, because if you combine all the things we've done together, we're talking about almost 70 years, okay? So it ain't no way you're going to get 70 years in one day. But you will get enough knowledge that you can talk intelligently to a person. You can guide a person intelligently by telling them their best days, their best months, their best years, their best ages, and things of that nature. And, you know, it's a lot of fun. That's all I can tell you. The number to call, if you want to, is area code 347 496-1022. I'll repeat that because I know somebody don't have their pen and paper ready, because I know it happens to me when you give out a number. The number again is area code 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. And for those that can't make it to the event, it's going to be in Brooklyn all day. We haven't announced it yet because we're only going to, you can't walk up in the joint. You're going to have to commit yourself, pay, sign up for the course, register, then we will give you the address. And for those who can't get to us, whether you're in India or China or California or Hawaii, you can live stream us on that Saturday, June the 22nd from 11 to 7 by going to KingSimonProductions.eventbrite.com. I want to thank all of you very, very much. We love what we do. We are the best at what we do. And you'll see that it will be time and money well worth invested in yourself. But it's about you and how you feel about yourself. Thank you.
Definitely appreciate you doing this event. Once again, family, make sure you're there. Saturday, June 22nd. I think this is something that could benefit somebody. Like I said before we started filming, this brother done told me all types of stuff about my son. And I'm like, how you know that, brother?
Yeah.
You and King Simon, y'all be on point, man. I cannot front. I cannot front. I got a few questions for you before you get out of here.
Sure.
I think it's amazing, and it can be a little confusing when we talk about the numbers and somebody being a number 8 or a number 7, because there's a situation that happens where two people are born on the same day.
Yep.
They come from the same womb, the same mother. They have the same sign.
Mm-hmm.
They're twins.
Yes.
But they're different.
Because they don't have the same name. And that's the beauty of
oh my God. There's so many things we gotta take into consideration.
Here's what's gonna happen.
Oh, man.
I'm gonna introduce the history part. Kaya French is gonna introduce the birthday part. I'm gonna introduce the name. The name is just as powerful. Shakespeare once says, what's in the name? The response was everything. Numerically, in numerology, your name denotes your natural talents, gifts, skills, and abilities. So you can have identical twins, but they don't have identical names. Even if the identical names sound the same, they're not spelled the same. Okay? And that in and of itself will do it. Not only that, both didn't come out the womb at the exact same time. One may be, like if you look at red pill, blue pill, for example.
That's what I was thinking about,
twins,
red and blue, yeah.
But they were born minutes apart, okay? Blue pill came out last, red pill came out first, okay? So since the time frame's every about 4 to 8 minutes, it all depends on what the time frame that Sister Annette Brown had her children. And it's interesting because they're both Scorpios. They're both born on November the 14th. But one is red pill, one is blue pill. Even if you didn't know their original name, the name red pill and blue pill are two different letters, two different energies. And thus the name not only tells you your natural talents, gifts, skills, and abilities, but it will tell you the kind of people that are drawn to you by way of their zodiac sign or date of birth. So let's say if I took the name Rich, okay, R-I-C-H. So that's 8, 10, 11. So that adds up to...
Tell me about Richard, because my name is Richard. That's my fault.
Well, if it's Richard, then Richard adds up to 18, and 1 plus 8 is 9. So it tells me there's a high an average chance one of your parents could have either been an Aries, Leo, or Scorpio.
My father was an Aries. See what I'm talking about?
That's what I'm saying.
Come on, bro.
What's
up with you, man?
But I'm going to
What's up
demonstrate
with
at
you,
the
man?
workshop.
You the CIA or something, man? How you? We didn't rehearse this, man. What's up with you, man?
No, we didn't rehearse this. We came.
How you know this stuff?
I came here late.
Brother, where do you come up with this? Just because Richard is a number 9, how does that make my fault?
I will explain it to you. I'll explain to class. Each letter has a numerical value. When I took your name and transposed the letters into numbers or decode them, that's the magic of numerology of the name. The name Richard, like the name Lloyd, adds up to 18. 1 plus 8 is 9. The fact that this address we're in adds up to 18, and 1 plus 8 is 9.
Yeah.
Okay? Well, so that means since our names are number 9s, it means one of our parents was either an Aries, my father was an Aries, your father was an Aries, or it means that one of them would have been a Scorpio, which is my brother, and the other is a Leo, which is my sister. You know, all born on the 9th, the 18th, or the 27th of any month. They would always be drawn to us. In other words, when these zodiac signs come in our space and we separate, they walk away wiser from the experience of knowing us. So if you do attract Aries and Leos and Scorpions, or people born on the 9th, 18th, or 27th, that would make sense. Like, you know, do you know how many interviews I've seen in the underground with Blue Pill? Red Pill?
Blue and Red Pill,
TK?
yeah, they on here.
Okay? Yeah. They're Scorpios, brother. Okay? And even TK is a Scorpio. He's born November 3rd. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So I love this, man. And then I'm nosy, too. This is perfect. This is perfect.
Wow, man. We did not rehearse that, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know how this man knows.
No, but that's how it works. It's not... Here's an example I like to give, Brother Rich. For a guy meeting a sister walking down the street, you know how every time we swear we done met the finest sister that ever came our way, right? And suppose a brother meets the finest sister in the world. He says, you know, boo, I need your number. I need to get to know you more. And she just says, well, call any number. Well, brother, we be calling numbers till the cows come home. But if he calls the right 10 numbers in the right order, he get the right results that he's looking for, which is a sister. And that's how numbers work. Numbers guide us. You just don't go to any house when you decide to go home at night, man. You could, but you're going to have some static up in there. You got to go to your exact address, okay? So we all have numbers that guide us. This is how we can get from New York to Washington, D.C. Everybody knows you take Route 95 down and back. You know, it's amazing. And you can't do without numbers. You can't. Nothing happens without numbers. That's why I say imagine a world without numbers. Imagine getting up, trying to start a day, and don't lose numbers. I defy anybody. You cannot do it. If so, I'll send you $1,000. And I have yet to write a check, because it's not going to happen. Somebody's going to look at their watch. Somebody's going to turn on the radio, turn on the TV. Somebody's going to get a call. Somebody's going to press the elevator button, okay? You can't do that because numbers on the elevators, you know what I'm saying? Somebody's going to get in their car. Well, the cars has license plate numbers attached to them. And speaking of that, Rich, do you know there were cars that were made, like in the 90s, there was the Ford Aries, and then there was a Ford Taurus, named after zodiac signs. So yet they will kind of knock us. But why do you think every major daily newspaper except the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal has an astrology column? They all do. Because this fascinates everybody, but understand its origin. Its origin is African in its origin. Other people shouldn't get uptight about that, man. How you gonna have all these of the African continent, okay? The land of Egypt or Kemet, call it what you will. Some people have different names depending on their philosophies. I don't get caught up into that. Hey, listen, y'all know what I'm talking about, okay? But the point is, how can you come from that part of the world and be the father of something when you went there to visit from another continent? You just can't do that. I know we could not do that, okay? So what I'm saying is to not feel, oh boy, he don't like so-and-so people. Y'all get uptight. That's on you. Okay, my thing is to let us know, to redefine who we are, to reclaim our origin and that which we are the masters of. And we are definitely the masters of numerology because it comes from us. Why do you think, do you know that the only two man-made edifices or architects that can, or structures I should say, that can be seen from space is the Pyramid of Giza, that's built at the exact center of the earth. That's in Africa, man. You don't build a pyramid at the exact center of the earth and don't know the numbers. You just can't do it, okay? And not only that, but then they found out in research that the pyramids was built in constellations of the celestials. I mean, come on, man. Okay, please, spare me.
Are colors associated with numbers?
Yes, 8 is associated with black. So if you like to wear dark colors.
I think King Simon, okay, yeah.
Yeah, if you like to wear black, you do.
The name of my channel is Black Magic. My YouTube channel, the name of it is Black Magic.
And you're born on the 17th, 1 plus 7 is 8.
Right,
so that makes sense.
Yeah.
So if you look at Muhammad Ali, who was also born on the 17th, he always looked good when he had on a black shirt in his interviews. So yes, numbers rule everything from the foods we eat to cars to places, cities. This is why a person can go to a city.
What about foods? What can you tell me about foods with the name?
Well, H would rule things connected more to the earth, things that are more organic in nature, okay? And because 8s tend to be misdiagnosed by doctors. One of in numerology, the two numbers that tend to be misunderstood, medically misdiagnosed, are the 4s and the 8s. They just can't quite figure out what's wrong with them. But what happens is they have a very sensitive metabolism. So let's say me and the number 8 person, we was out having a couple of brewskis, you know, I'd have about 4 or 5 cans. He may have 1 or 2. He's good to go. He ain't got to do too much. But things are very practical in nature. And I have a section in there. And in fact, if I could show people my book, I could show them where I can reach for it? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thanks. This is one of 6 books I wrote. This is Numbers of You, a numerology guide for everyday living. So all you got to do is go to Amazon.com. You can see the rest of the books I wrote, purchase them. But in here, I got the best times for food, places, cities, things like that. This explains, as I was saying, Rich, why is it one person can go into a city and do very well, and another person go into a city and don't do well at all? Because don't forget, each name has a numerical value or frequency. Well, cities do too. Countries do also, all right? And so with that in mind, once you know that, you can do very, very well, all right? So for example, when I went to China's numbers, lucky numbers, are the 8s and the 6s, okay? Well, the opposition number to China is the number 4. 4 is bad luck. So when people want to know what's going on with the United States, which is a 4, it's a Cancer 4, July 4, 1776 in China, which is a Capricorn, now Libra nation, and then you understand what the beef is about. To me, it just makes things more understanding, that's all. So whether you're doing it locally, regionally, nationally, internationally, numerology and numbers help guide you in ways that are absolutely amazing. And as long as I've been doing this, I won't tell you, but it's definitely double-digit numbers I've been doing this bad boy, okay? I am still amazed to this day. I'm amazed that I came in here, talked to Brother Rich, didn't know he had a son, just months old literally, and described him as the crybaby of the group because he's born under a number 2. And 2s are very sensitive in their nature. Every number brings to the table its own idiosyncrasies, its own strengths, its own challenges. And so it's about learning to be true to yourself. And part of the problem is we're trying to be somebody else looking in their backyard that we need to look in our own backyard, okay? And this is what we're going to be teaching you. I'm also going to be teaching you the ethics. I've noticed of all the numerology books I've gotten, and I got a ton of them too in my home after doing this number of years, none of them teach you about the ethics of this game. We're going to teach you about the ethics too. That you do the right thing by people. You don't use this because you don't like so-and-so and that's you're going to give them the wrong date and the wrong month. There is karma, okay? Believe me. You know, we all know what goes around comes around. So you want to make sure that you're doing your best with this. All of these things we're going to be teaching you. The history, I'm just going to touch on it because my goal is about the more practical side, because that's how people are. Yeah, okay, so what about the history? You know, but what can I do with it? What does it mean? And that makes common sense to me. At least that's the environment I was brought up here in New York City, especially in Harlem, okay? So anyway, next question, Rich?
What can you tell us about, everybody keeps saying how 2020 is a very important year. What's the science on the year 2020? What should we know?
Well, what's interesting is that in numerology, there are master numbers. There are 2. Now, newer books will say there's 33. In fact, I have a book in my collection that says 11, 22, 33, up to 99, okay? But the master numbers 11 traditionally have been 11s and 22s. 11s represents those who come up with great concepts and ideas. Well, 2020, if you remove those zeros, is 22. And 22 is referred to in numerology as the master builder, where one takes these concepts and builds things that are tangible, that are concrete, that are durable. And in fact, the master number 22 rules 2 signs only, the signs of Leo and the signs of Aquarius. And that's you and I. Did you know the first person to land on the moon was a Leo?
No.
And the second person was an Aquarius? That's right. That's how we roll. That's how we do. Okay, so 2020 is very important. So if you're looking at the elections that's now taking place, You know who is now taking the lead? A woman. Her name is, oh boy, I know her name.
Not Elizabeth Warren. No.
Elizabeth Warren.
Oh.
Yeah, but Elizabeth Warren is born on the 22nd. Oh. The day we have the workshop is the day of her birthday.
Wow.
So I expect her to do very well because all you got to do is remove the zeros, and there's a 22 staring her in the face. And I mean, she's now taking the lead over the men.
Well, I didn't even know that. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah, I got the birthdays of everybody. I'm very nosy like that. You know, so anyway though, but there's a lot to this. There's a lot to this. And the thing is, we make it a lot of fun because we found that teaching in a fun way is the easy way to learn. We're not disciplinarians. We're not going to be hard or anything like that. But we're going to make it fun and entertaining. That is the best way to learn. Simon has always got Simon always got a 1,000,000-watt smile on his face. Mm-hmm. He always got he's the greatest promoter in the world. And Kaya French, she's beautiful in her own way too. Me, because I've been in radio, television for years, I have a way of making things entertaining. But in the entertainment that the three of us are doing, be clear, we are dead serious in what we're sharing with you. And all you got to do is apply it and see it for yourself. Because I tell people, don't take my word, you check it out for yourself. That's the mark of intelligence.
Well, I want the people to come out. I don't want to ask you too many questions because I want them to come there and learn. Yeah. So, man, I definitely enjoyed you coming through today, man.
This was great. I need to be back for a part 2.
Yeah, I enjoy. Thanks for giving me the book. You bought the book for me.
Yours.
I appreciate that as well. And listen, family, Saturday, June 22nd, you should be there. Bring your whole family there. Matter of fact, make an investment and learn and knowing thyself and learning yourself. That way you could become the best version of yourself. Things this man has just told me I'm gonna keep in mind while raising my son. So this is something that what you told me today is gonna stick with me forever. I'm gonna, go to KingSimonProductions.eventbrite.com for more information, or you could call the brother at 347-496-1022. Make sure you get tickets early, family. Only 55 people will be allowed.
They're very limited seating. Yes. That's why we ain't telling nobody until you register, because you just can't roll up in the joint, okay? We're not going to do it like that. This is we want to see how serious you are, and we hope you're serious enough to learn about this self. And again, the investment is under $100, okay? All day with the 3 best people on the planet dealing with this. I mean, how you going to go wrong? Again, it's all depending on where our priorities are too. And if your priorities are somewhere else, unfortunately, you're going to miss out on something that's very dynamic. And you know, Brother Rich, one of the most common responses I get, especially from people that have not reached those 40s, 50s, 60s, man, I wish I'd have known this a long time ago.
Yeah.
So you don't have to wait when you can learn it now on June 22nd. Be there.
Family, this is Brother Rich, Father Rich with Lloyd Strahorn. Appreciate you, my brother. Did you leave your contact information? Or your website?
No, I didn't. I'm so busy plugging this. You can get in touch with me directly at lloyd-strahorn.com. If you want to see your 2019 prediction, go to lloyd-strahorn.com. That's LLOYD-STRAYHORN.com. So again, it's lloydstrahorn.com. You can also order my books there. You can order charts. You can find out some other things, even schedule appointments with me, or you can call my toll-free number, which is 1-800-581-4401. That's 1-800-581-4401. Thanks so much. I forget stuff like that. I'm so focused on this workshop. Y'all butts better be there.
Thank you, family. Peace.
Peace.
Young brother from the gutter, always been a fighter, never been a runner. Woo. Mama was a hunter, daddy was a hunter, all my brothers hunt each other. Woo. Known to knuckle up and uppercut a slugger, punch a snuffer, stun a thugger, gonna stutter, blood a sputter. You gon' do the Brooklyn Brucker, Pucker, kinda drummer. Father thought I was a parasite in mama belly, but he had it wrong. He ain't know he had a spawn of a warlord till in 9 months I was born. Big, black, strong body, your LeBron. I'm a big king, killing all the pawn. Better be informed when I blow the horn, bringing in the dust, waking up the dawn, looking at a card. Prophesized by the shaman voodoo. Seen it all through the eye of Horus that I watch and view through. There was other warriors before me, but they not this cruel.